College football is here, everyone. Who's excited? I'm excited. We've got games. We had games played last night. We have games played tomorrow. Everyone's ready. Let's start the show.
Good morning, afternoon, evening. I'm Garrett. This is the new Wincy show.
We're going to Super Bowl!
Welcome back to the new Wincy show. My name is G Money Garrett. Thank you all for tuning in. College football is officially back. It ain't week 0 anymore, everybody. It's week 1. Thank you for tuning in. Let's just get this started. I'm excited. You're excited. We're all excited. Let's go Bucks. Let's go Cats. Hey, we all know who the real one is. Roll Tide, baby. Roll Tide every day. Let's go. Roll Tide. We're ready. We're here. We had some games played last night, Thursday, which was we had the backyard brawl, West Virginia, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh came out on top, 38-31. Huge for them. Obviously not for West Virginia. Their game ended on a last-minute Hail Mary down the middle of the field from JT Daniels, and it was this close to being a catch at the 1-yard line. Unfortunately, that didn't turn out West Virginia's way. That's who I wanted to win last night, but Pitt definitely showed that even without Kenny Pickett, they're able to go and continue to dominate in their top 25 spot. They had a great showing last night. I think it was a really defensive game until towards the end of the second half when the team started going and decided they wanted to play offense. So games like that happen. It's week 1. It was sloppy, but it was what a great game to watch. Oklahoma State beat Central Michigan 58-44. That was a lot of points scored and not a lot of defense played. So that's all I can really say about that. Oklahoma State still staying top 25, I would say, with that win. A win's a win, if you know what I mean. So, and then Wake Forest going and blowing out VMI 44-10 to end that slate of games yesterday. One game tonight, Michigan State versus Western Michigan. If someone ends up reaching this podcast before tonight, but we're talking about Saturday football. Saturday football is where it's at. Ohio State, Notre Dame. Big game for them. Big game. Obviously, if you are looking forward to the draft already, even though the draft was a couple months ago, we really are looking at quarterbacks this year. Quarterbacks for teams like Seattle. I'm expecting Houston. If they can't make a jump, maybe they'll get a quarterback. I would expect the Colts to maybe be looking for a quarterback. I know they just signed Matt Ryan, but it's never a bad time to go and plan for the future. I would expect to see them look for a quarterback. Obviously, the Bengals aren't looking for a quarterback, so we don't have to worry too much about that. If Lamar can't sign a deal, maybe the Ravens start looking for a quarterback. The Browns obviously just signed Deshaun Watson, but you never know what's going to go on there. Deshaun Watson in that one preseason drive looked awful. So looking at, obviously, to those quarterbacks, you're looking at that C.J. Stroud game with Ohio State and Notre Dame. Crack of dawn early tomorrow. I think it's 11 a.m. for me, but 12 for no, it's actually later. It's 6:30. Sorry, apologize about that. 6:30 game. Ohio State at Notre Dame. Notre Dame at Ohio State. I apologize. God, mix up. Sorry. I have it right in front of me. I just wasn't looking at that. I was looking at the other games up. But going back to that, you're looking at C.J. Stroud, and then another quarterback that you're going to be looking at, Will Levis. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that name, but I know who it is. Kentucky quarterback. He's looked really good. He looked really good last year. He's projected in the top 10 of quarterbacks. I think actually top 5, ranked number 4 in the preseason, I guess, where you would rank the quarterbacks preseason for draft eligibility, because he's going to be draft eligible in 2023. Obviously, you're looking at C.J. Stroud, which is going to be a huge game. Notre Dame, always a big game. That's a heck of an opener. But then the most important game, in my opinion, is Alabama, Utah State. No, I'm just kidding. All these games are important, but to me, this Alabama team looks almost unstoppable on paper. Jahmyr Gibbs pickup last year. Obviously, Bryce Young's back. We now are starting a couple new faces at wide receiver because our wide receiver room once again was drafted all the way out. So we have Jermaine Burton up. We have Tyler Harrell out at wide receiver. Cameron Latu coming back at tight end. I mean, our offense looks so much better with the experience now. I'm hoping that we can come out on top and show some good signs for draft eligible players because we're going to be hopefully looking for someone maybe at a long-term tight end position, even though we just signed Hayden Hurst. I mean, you're going to always look at a Notre Dame kid with Michael Mays. But tight ends going into this year in college are looking strong. I'm hoping that a lot of people are looking out for that so we can get a young, healthy, hopefully very consistent tight end now that we lost CJ Uzama and then that whole breakup thing. And I mean, Hayden Hurst we just signed, but you can never hurt by looking for young talent coming into this year. But continuing onto that, we have other games, obviously. Georgia, Oregon, which is going to be huge. You want to see how Stetson Bennett plays after they just beat us in the national championship. Georgia losing a lot of their big names on defense, Jordan Davis and Travon Walker. So he went number 1 overall. Sorry, names are blanking for me today. Totally apologize about that. But a lot of these Georgia guys are going to be looking to see if they can step up in lieu of all those drafted players and continue to see if they can dominate over in the SEC East. So it's just obviously you're looking for something who somebody who can step up and continue to do that. You're also going to be looking for someone at Georgia who's going to replace George Pickens. He's a huge name who just got drafted, so you're looking for somebody who can replace that. This slew of games this Saturday knows no bounds. Obviously, UC Arkansas. If you're a UC fan and you're looking for that, you're going to want to see who's basically going to fill in all of your spots. Is your roster going to continue to grow and play and dominate as much as you did last year, making the college football playoff? That's some questions that you're going to want answered in this first game. Obviously, you're playing another top 25 team, big SEC team, Arkansas, and you're looking at Arkansas to make a big splash this year. I honestly would expect them to end up going top 15, maybe top 10 if they end up getting a good win streak there in the heart of the schedule. So Michigan, Colorado State, Oklahoma, UTEP, Miami, BCU, other games. If you're looking for anything else to watch, USC, Rice, if you want to see how Caleb Williams and Jordan Addison and Lincoln Riley, how they're all doing over there in USC. That's going to be a big game for them. They're hoping to see if they can do anything with all of their transfer portal stuff that they did, and then Lincoln Riley signing the multi-bajillion dollars, it feels like, deal with USC. Utah, Florida, that's a big game. Utah's top 10. They're number 7. At 6 p.m. That's going to be a big game. You're going to want to see how those two teams battle it out with the Pac-12 and SEC. And other than that, it's just a whole lot of college football tomorrow. Clemson, Georgia Tech, that's a big game. And then after that, it's straight into week 2, baby. Alabama, Texas. horns down. And that's the same week as week 1 of the NFL. That's right. Transition into week 1. Obviously, we have no NFL football going on this weekend. All of it is happening next week and next weekend, but it's something that you still want to look forward to. We had a couple free agent pickups. We did end up re-signing Michael Thomas, the safety. I know a lot of people were concerned about that. We re-signed Brandon Allen to be our backup, and we're really just solidifying our 53-man roster. Big news, Cordell Volson officially named the starting left guard ahead of Jackson Carman, which I think is huge in my opinion. Cordell Volson worked his butt off this preseason to go and earn that spot. Jackson Carman, it was his job to lose, and he lost. And I think Cordell Volson made a great impact at that position, and there's no reason why we shouldn't believe in him, and we shouldn't believe in what Zach Taylor is trying to cook up in the kitchen here. I really think it's going to be something special. Because when you really think about it, looking through our schedule, I don't have any issues with us starting off 4-0. I really don't. I mean, Steelers, Cowboys, Jets, Dolphins. I think we start off 4-0, and then I think if everything goes well, we could be 5-1 or 6-0 going into week 7, which is going to be huge if we can get 5 or 6 wins right out of the gate. But something that I really want to emphasize this year is that we're going to be putting a lot of expectation on these guys. Obviously, with the Super Bowl, we just lost, and I do think that we're going to be able to go and make another Super Bowl run this year. That's not my issue. My issue is that I don't want us to put too much unrealistic expectations onto these guys and act it. And if they don't end up running the table or doing something to where you lose to a bad team in a bad game, just bad play calling, maybe you lose games in the NFL. And so I don't want losing a game to be the end of the world for all of us, because the players don't deserve that. We don't deserve putting that on the players. I think it's unnecessary for us to do that. They're working really hard, and they've shown us what they can do. And I really just want to go one game at a time this year. I think it would be smart. I think it would be healthy for all of us. I think it would be good for us to just support the team and be able to get behind their backs and always just cheer them on instead of going and tearing them down at the first loss, because we are going to lose football games this year, and it's going to be heartbreaking, and it's going to be tough. We're not going to run the table. If we do, awesome. That would be incredible. We would be the greatest team to ever step foot on a football field. However, I think it's really important that we just keep our heads down and continue to support these guys. There's going to be ups. There's going to be downs. There's going to be rough spots. You're going to have bad games. You're going to have bad plays. You're going to have a bad week. It's going to happen. I mean, these guys are going to go into cruise mode, and something's going to happen, and a loss is going to happen. And I think we as a fan base need to really emphasize. Last year, we were super uber supportive of all of them for going and making it to the Super Bowl, and knowing that was the standard that they held for themselves all year, and we needed to support it and be behind it. But we also can't, with that expectation, go and put unrealistic expectations of, if a team loses, it is going to be, I'm going to rain the fires of hell on you. It's going to happen. And every team loses. The Rams lost multiple times last year, and they still won the Super Bowl. I think they were 10-7 going into the playoffs, or 11-6 or something like that. But you can't put unrealistic expectations on these guys and expect to go and not be clowned on by your fellow fan base. So please just know, I don't want any overreactions. We're Cincinnati. We're not going to go out here. We're going to bring the energy every week. We're not going to go and lack in any of that. But I do want us to be mindful of how we approach this team and how we approach this year, and don't get ourselves in this headspace where we expect to win every game, but we shouldn't expect something on these players where if they mess up, they should automatically be cut. It's just not it. It's going to happen. Bad plays are going to happen. And I think it would be really important if we can move forward as a fan base and just continue to support these guys and be the best fans that we can be. Because going into this week 1 next week, I'm just so excited for NFL football and college football, and it's just football is back, baby, and that's my little rant on how I want the season to go for all of us and you guys and me and everyone involved. So thank you so much for listening in. Week 1 of college football is here, baby. Horns down, all the way down to the ground. And that's the show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Please follow me at New Wincy Show on Twitter and me at New Wincy G. I'll be posting more updates there as the season starts to kick off and as the podcasts start to ramp up. Thank you, Zim and Ace, and everybody at the Cincinnati channel. Once again, do it every week, and thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Good morning, afternoon, evening. Thank you for appreciating me and my football rants, and I will see you next week after week 1 of college football is done, going into week 1 of the NFL. Hoo day, and good night.